All right, guys, as promised, I have with me here Zach, one of the co-founders of this legendary, groundbreaking game, BitFighters. Welcome to the stream, Zach.
Hey, Coach, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. It. Awesome. Yeah, super excited to dive in on this and help the community understand just how awesome this game is going to be and what your goals are for game development and Web3. But before we get into that, let's just get a little bit of background, like who is Zach and how did Zach get into gaming and crypto?
Yeah. All right. Wow. Okay. So I don't know how far back we'll go, but we'll just start within the last 5 years or so. So I'm a project manager as my career for the last decade or so. And the last few years, I got more into software development and making games on my own. And recently started working at a game studio here in the States. So I'm a professional game designer and team lead. And I just love building stuff, whether it's on the computer or out in the farm. I just like to make things and push a button and watch it work. See what it does, tune it up, and run it again. And BitFighters is just the evolution. It just became a game that I started working on quite a while ago. Mm-hmm. The first concept of BitFighters was actually a title called Fight Me Now. And this was a Web 2 game back before there was Web 3, I believe, 7 years ago or so. And it was a similar game. So if you guys are familiar with BitFighters, you've seen the videos. It's a PvP, fight to the death for some money.
Right.
And that's what this game was, Fight Me Now. It was the same kind of idea where you would match up with some stranger on the internet, make your wagers, and play the game. And it was chat. The spectators were in the chat room, and they could wager on the battles too. And it was kind of the core prototype that we made. So if you Yabonks, if you guys know Yabonks, you guys know his YouTube channel. If not, go check him out. He's got a great animation. I love the research that he does on his videos and his in-depth dives. He spends considerable amount of time on his studies and learning about whatever product he is speaking about on the show. So yeah, check out Yabonks. But he's a software engineer, and we started making this thing together, the two of us, built out this prototype, and we had a blast with it. Of course, it was just one of these like fast, weekend games that we made, and we just never ended up doing anything with it because we had PayPal on it. So the idea is you're gonna log in with your PayPal, buy some credits, play this crazy internet game, some deep down niche game that I don't know who's gonna find. But when Web 3 came out, it's just the idea immediately came back. It's like oh, Fight Me Now. That is a perfect Web 3 game. I can't think of a better example for a quick, put together kind of game. And so that's it came from that. And so I'll just keep going. Did I introduce myself? I did. So we went through that part. So let's talk about the game and how I'm evolving it from fightmenow.com. So back then, maybe I'll show some pictures in the Discord. Guys, jump in the Discord. I'll show you some early prototypes.
So Yabonks is the other dev on this.
Sorry.
Yabonks, that's the other dev. So you and him are the ones behind BitFighters.
He's a long-term friend of mine, an old buddy of mine, and we mocked this thing up together. That was a long time ago. Currently, Vader is my teammate now.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Vader
yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to just talk about Vader for a second. Absolute genius. This guy is phenomenal, and he was a true blessing when I found him. The BitFighter origin story, how it came to be is I realized that, Fight Me Now would be cool. And I can really build like an ecosystem around this. And because that's what I just wanted to do, is like a use case for utility. That kind of sounds like an oxymoron or something, but or a double something. But a use case for utility. Like how can I exhibit tons of use? I couldn't think of anything but like a BitFighter ecosystem replicating. A toy train model, a model city, how a small economy might work.
Okay.
And I just started writing it out, and it just kept growing. And I was like, okay, I got to build this. We're going to build this.
Nice.
And I started making some prototypes, and I got it going, and it became something different. It was like a different game that I was working on from a long time ago. And shout out to the PrizeBot community over at ZZ Labs. They had a chance to play this game. It was actually called Boss Fighters. And we changed the title to BitFighters. It was a MOBA game. It was totally different than the BitFighters that you know today.
Wow.
It was a MOBA, like you're running around with a bunch of people and a map, kind of like top down view, and you're like shooting stuff, and all these mobs are coming at you.
Right.
And so I thought that would be a really cool Web3 game. And that one's still on the shelf. We're going to pull that one off someday.
Wow.
Hopefully before the day I die, I can realize that one and we can bring it out to the people. But anyway, so BitFighters, I dropped the name on that one. We changed that one. We took the name over to the Fight Me Now, retitled it.
Okay.
Got this thing going. Vader over there, like I said, I picked him up in the Morales Discord. So
wow.
I realized that the BitFighter scope was just way too big. It's way too ambitious. I got my full-time job. I got that going on. I got a farm. I'm out here running a farm, and I got a family. And it's like, try to build a game like this, it's going to take years and years. And do I really want to just YOLO and just quit my job and eat my savings up as I try to make something and roll the dice? And it's like,
right.
Maybe if I was a bachelor, maybe, but too much risk involved. So
okay,
it's just like, we're going to chip away at it. We're going to do what we can. Well, anyway, I realized I couldn't do it by myself, so I just wrote up an ad. I'm like, hey, a really cool idea for a game. If you want to build something and you got full stack skills and you're into like an MMO kind of action game, hit me up. And the first dude that hit me was Vader. Like the first message I got, and like it just couldn't have been a better fit. And he's a brilliant guy. And he works at I'm not going to name where he works or where I work right now, but he's at one of the largest streaming game services channels, websites in the world.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, he's a professional back-end engineer, but he can do it all, man. He's just brilliant. So he's great everywhere. But yeah, he's been helping me now, and we're probably almost a year into development from an early proof of concept. Took my previous community, the PrizeBot ZZ Labs community, we brought them over. They're not into Web3. They're just kind of tagging along. I would hardly doubt any of those guys even bought a pre-mint sale card.
Okay.
But if you did, shout out to you guys. Tag me in Discord. Let me know, because I'm not hearing from you guys.
Right.
Anyway, they followed along and just we started going on some alpha shares. That was the first group that we were hanging out with, and just kind of presenting it. And there's a little bit of traction. Like people thought, okay, there might be something here. We tried to be able to present the game in a way that in a short amount of time and a quick couple of sound bites, you'd understand that it's more than just a fighting game.
Right.
There's really some utility and some deep value happening here that's going to unfold as players engage. And I think people were able to pick that up rather quickly. It surprised me because for me, it's like they're going to have to go into the book, read through the pages,
right,
understand this, and they're not going to, and no one's going to want to have anything to do with it because it's some shitty retro indie game, no wants anything to do with it. But of course, the other side of me is like, this is genius. We got to just at least get a proof of concept out for the people to see and see what it does, and that's what we did.
Right.
And we opened it up for open alpha, so everyone was able to. This was back when we were on Polygon. We would open it up on the weekends, and people would hang out, and we would fight, and we had a blast. And we're like, all right, this is cool, but we just couldn't. After that, it was so difficult to scale.
Right.
And I found this out. I kind of felt like I hit a wall in the last couple months. It was like making a game extremely difficult. Very, very difficult, especially as any solo dev out there. I don't know how you guys do it. You don't have a day job. That's all I know. But it's crazy stuff. They gotta be wizards at so many different things.
Right.
Like, you can't be okay at a bunch of different things. You gotta be expert at a bunch of different things.
For sure.
And anyway, that's making a game is difficult, but marketing and promotion, I would say, is arguably more difficult than building a game. So guys, if you're out there and you're thinking about making a game, you might have a better chance. I'm sorry. You're thinking about marketing and promoting. You're out there shilling and stuff, or whatever you're doing. You might have a better shot at making a game. And
right.
So go make some games. We want to play out your ideas.
That's a great segue into kind of, because you're talking about marketing. So before you go down that, we can find out, how long have you been in crypto? Because I know you mentioned that, so you've been in for quite a while. And then 2, how did that lead you into Drip? Because that's where this all ties together.
Oh man, that's an interesting story that I haven't thought of, or I don't think I've put it together in my mind to communicate it to anyone. But here you go. 2015 buying Bitcoin, buying some of that Bitco company, Bitcoin in 2015. I think it was like $400 or something like that.
Right.
At the time.
So you've been in around a while.
Yeah, and of course, I needed to buy some weed seeds from Amsterdam, so I had to buy some Bitcoin to get the weed seeds, and I think that ended up costing me like I don't know, at today's prices, $12,000.
Wow. Yeah.
12 a bag of 12, you know, weed seeds for $12,000 is what that cost me at the time if I would have just hodled that.
Right.
But then I hodled the other chunk, of it, and I ended up flipping it for like when Bitcoin hit $2,000. I'm like, oh, Warren Buffett, here we go. And I sold it. And 2017, I got back in and was in that bull market and sold that one at a lot. But I did well the first time. Of course, looking back, I would have hodled it. But the second time, that one was good. And then 2020, we had that dip.
Right.
And I just got red pilled, and I was like, oh shit. And they are just printing this stuff to oblivion.
Yep.
Bitcoin it is. And so it's become my savings account ever since 2020. And so it's Bitcoin or die for me.
Okay, nice. Nice.
And until 2021, until 1 year later. And that's what, going back to my old buddy Yabonks. Shout out to the Yabonks channel. Where like he was telling me about the Titano projects and all the reflection projects or whatnot. And I was like, oh man, if you're getting into it, I got to get into it. So I MetaMask or whatever, and I was like, before I get into this one, though, I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna see what other projects they got going on.
Right.
And guess who I came across? At the old blue drop, giving you 1% a day over the Drip network.
So when did you get in? When was that?
I got in before the all-time high run up, so I think it was like $60 or something at that time.
So like October, September, 50s. October. November? Yeah, somewhere in there.
Fall time, the fall of 2021.
Yep. Okay.
And it was my first project I got into.
Nice.
And then after that, I got that one going. I was like, all right, this is working. It's working. It's working. Anakin in a speed racer. It's working.
Right.
And I was like, all right, I got some more risk capital. Let's deploy this in the Titano. Yeah, Bunks, what you got? Titano. And we're on these websites. Shout out to Richard Davey, Photon Storm, a genius over there. And he put together some at the Dead Wallet Society, a website where he was tracking all these projects. Okay. Every day we're in Discord, refreshing, looking for what's going on. You'd refresh and there'd be big X over the project saying rug. This one's dead, guys. Sorry, find another one.
Right.
So you're on a website with all these projects that are releasing every day because everyone's launching something new every single day.
Yeah, for sure.
And I did well though. I didn't get hacked. I didn't get scammed. I didn't get rugged. What am I talking about? I got rugged all the time. But I didn't. My wallet wasn't compromised. I'll say that much.
Right.
But I did hit some gems. I got on like Seifu. I didn't get any whitelist gems, but I got on launch day gems.
Okay.
Seifu and Sphere and I don't know, some other ones that didn't turn out so well.
Right.
And but anyway, it was an interesting experience. But Drip, there's something about it. There's something about like what I understood reading the white paper and just kind of scrolling through the code, that I was like, this can work if people do what it's meant to.
Right.
Like, it's kind of, I don't want to call it a use case, but what it was made to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was made to be like this way to bring into whatever you're doing, use it a way to reward people that are hanging out with you or whatever.
Right.
And the idea, of course, is it needs a spread, and it needs a spread indefinitely forever. If it's to stay afloat, it needs something. It needs somewhere to go. It needs you think of like the drop in the water and the liquid analogy. It needs like piping. It needs somewhere to flow through. And something to go to and something to go do. Can't be withheld. And that's what's happening right now.
Right.
Everyone's like, the price, it's got to go up. But everyone knows that if it goes up, there's how much drip, millions of drip in people's wallets. They're just waiting. The sharks are just waiting. Give me something. Give me something to bite into. Yeah,
for sure.
And it's gonna get crushed. So, I always want to do like a BEP20 coin or something. And what I would do is I would fork drip. I would copy it just as is. And the only thing I think I would do differently is I put an expiration date on the drip.
Right.
I would like, if you hold it in your wallet for so long, it just goes to zero. It's like
it evaporates.
Yeah, shit or get off the pot, man.
Yeah.
Some CBDC shit, some program money.
Right.
If you don't use it, you're done. Get out of here.
Yeah, for sure.
Move it along, guys. Let's go.
So you got into drip super early, not OG early, but early enough to see the all-time highs and the run-ups and all that stuff like that. So how did the BitFighters part get initialized into the drip ecosystem? Because I'm sure everybody watching my video has gone over to your channel and they may have seen the AMA with Ray and Forex. Super excited about this. So tell us a little bit about how this got pitched and where you're at now with that, I guess you could say.
Yeah, sure. So it started right after BitFighters kind of closed its open alpha, and we were like, the marketing thing was just too much, and it was like, all right, there's no way we can do both. We can't build this game and also market and do everything with a $0 budget. So either like we got to do something.
Right.
We're thinking partnerships, because that's probably the best way to get a step up and get some attention and let people see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, we're like, the scope's just too big. Let's start smaller. Let's make some smaller games. And we put some prototypes together, and we started working in Unity and started doing some of that on Web3, and we got some awesome stuff there. I would love to get to and pull it back off the shelf.
Okay.
One day, but we were just, we were ready to go. We were ready to build something. I had a few different ideas that we were prototyping, ready to go. And going back to the partnership, we were like, right away, it doesn't matter the size of the game. We still need to link up with someone to get a foothold here. And so Drip, I go back to my hometown. And I just reached out to Ray immediately, the first dude I reached out to. And I said, this was on the way down, mind you guys. So we hit the all-time high. We're probably late spring or so.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Could have been then, because I talked to him in January. So we were thinking, no, we'll go back. Late spring, summer, we moved into like shelving BitFighters, going into the smaller game concepts.
Right.
Then fall, we were like, okay, we're ready to start pitching some of this stuff. And that's when I hit up Ray in like the end of the year.
Okay.
And I said, right away, I pitched him a coin pusher game.
Right.
And the idea was that at BitFighters, it's a PvP game, which requires players to be there. If there's no one logged in,
right,
you're in an empty room with crickets chirping, and there's not much happening. What's what's that? What's the point of paying for servers?
Right.
For no
nobody's using it. Yeah, exactly.
People need to be there.
Yep.
It's very much community driven. It's 100% community driven. I'll get into that, and it's everything's focused on the players and community in BitFighters.
Right.
It's a game that I would want. It's a game that I would want to play.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how it's being built. So anyway, I talked to Ray, and I'm like, I want to build for Drip.
Yeah.
It needs utility. Everyone agrees on this, right? So let's build. And I know you got your projects, but I can build stuff pretty darn fast. We can get something together and get something out there and get it out, and see what they say. And the idea was the coin pusher, because it's persistent. Player plays the game, their turn's over, and then someone can come by an hour later, and that coin pusher world is persistent to where however they affected it is the new state of the game. And this is how a coin pusher would work. And you create revenue and you give it to your shareholders. Pretty straightforward.
Yep.
He wasn't about it. He was like, nah, let's see what else you got. So I pitched him some other ideas, and he's like, and I told him about BitFighter. I mentioned that one. Just mentioned it. He's like, let me see that one. So I pulled out some of the open alpha videos and I showed it to him, and right away, he lit up. He's like, all right, we got something here. And I'm like, all right. What, I agree. I agree. We got something here, but what do you want to do with it?
Right.
And it's a big project. And he just said, let me take it to the Forex and we'll get back to you.
Okay.
So I don't know, a couple days later, BP or someone hit me up, and we had a call, and we talked about it, and it went well.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just Forex. He understood what I was doing. It wasn't, he read the book and he saw it. He understands that it's a Bitcoin game. There's no native tokens liquidity pools. It's just, you go to Chuck E. Cheese and get your tokens. Well, you do the same thing here, but we use Bitcoin.
Right. Exactly.
And it's and NFTs, and so it's all property, and it's just giving utility, and using those two things, giving utility back and forth in a flywheel kind of machine.
Yep.
Perpetually. And he saw that. He was like, this. He ultimately said that it was bigger than Drip. It was this thing's too big. We can't. What do you call it? I forget the term he used. But basically, like injure it by tying it to Drip, because Big Boy and these other big influencers, they're not going to pick it up if it's a Drip game, guys. It can't be a Drip game. It's too big for that. We got to make this real big. Like, what is that?
So you wanted 70% of the game you guys developed for him to support it or sponsor it or do this bigger than Drip thing he was talking about?
Yeah. To make it big.
Okay.
And it was the 70% was to pay for the marketing and pay for his team and his, and all this, and they'll handle it. And your 30% will be fortunes. You will make more on 30% than you would by yourself with 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing those negotiations
like,
didn't go well, and that's why you're kind of going the solo route now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there is no. I mean, how do you go from 70 to anything? There's no way I could get him.
Right.
Like, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
And so he wouldn't budge on that.
Okay.
And, maybe he said he would. Maybe he said he'd have some flex, but what 5, maybe 10% at the most. So let's give him 10%, 60%.
Yeah.
There's no reality where that would ever happen.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, it wasn't 70% for what we had. It was 70% for what we had, plus a bunch of features on our roadmap. So he didn't want to launch it like this summer, like we are. He wanted to wait till like the fall, winter, end of the year when we had some of the other features ready to go.
Okay.
Do it real big, big. And that was his other thing. He wanted to do it real big. He wanted to launch this thing ready for like 100,000 players on day one.
Oh, wow.
Right? Wants to go real big with this thing. And all right, that's cool. And when you launch some token and something and you watch that thing shoot off to the moon, that's cool. All right. But this is different, man. This is an NFT game.
Right.
And it's made for the guys that get in early, like a lot of other projects. It's got that similarity.
Right.
It's obviously like the pre-sale mint cards are half off right now.
Mm-hmm.
And $27 or whatever Bitcoin is, 1,000th of a Bitcoin. So whatever, $27 or so. And we're going to double that when we go to live launch on launch day. It'll be 2,000th of a Bitcoin. But other than that, that's like whoop-de-doo, man. Other than that, you're not going to be able to push a bunch of money in on day one and 10x on people that get it late. That's not what this is.
Right.
That's not what we're doing here.
Okay. So at least we know now where you guys are at. So you're now going solo, you and Vader, using just viral marketing with content creators, reaching out to them. And primarily right now, so correct me if I'm wrong, this is 100% your initial alpha team that you had, and then the drip community, right? So you're marketing this exclusively to the drip community.
Yeah. So let's we'll talk about how so BitFighters is supposed to be like this white label machine that can give any other project BitFighter utility and plug into Bitcoin. And that's what it was made for. Okay. And when Ray hit me up about using this game, and I said, okay, we can plug drip into this easy. I mean, it's so easy to write into the system. We have a drink, like a potion, the brew item in the game, the quintessential potion that everyone needs. If you're going to go battle and take damage, you're going to have to heal if you want to go fight again.
Right.
I don't know anyone who's going to want to go put their money on a fight, 50% health.
Right.
Unless you're crazy like that, I'm sure there's going to be dudes out there doing that.
Take the odds.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm going to save my 27 cents, my 10 bits.
Yeah.
And YOLO this one. Fine. But it's I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's all it is. It's crazy.
So how exactly, since you're talking about that now, so you got the brew, and what other areas is this going to, this white label, but primarily being pushed for drip right now? How does this, in a nutshell, simplest way possible, explain how it benefits the drip community? Because that's what they want to know. So the main thing they're going to probably ask or looking for is the security, safety aspect, the trust, and what about drip, right? So you just mentioned,
let's do drip and then we'll do the security side.
Exactly. So you just mentioned the 27 cents for the brew.
Here's how we're plugging drip, and not just drip, any partner who wants to plug into the BitFighter network. This is how it works. So first, what we do is we launch the special edition fighter. So in this case, we're going to do the Drip Fighter series. Mm-hmm. And so our normal fee structure, or the tokenomics of the NFT minting, is 50% goes to the system, 50% to the treasury. Okay. And for the partner BitFighters, what we're going to do is 50% to the system and 50% to that partner wallet. And then it's totally up to them, whatever they want to do with it. In this case with drip, I imagine we're going to be buying drip and sending it to the vault.
Yes. You won't get any pushback on that.
So anybody who gets a drip fighter, that's what they're doing. 50% of those funds go to supporting the game and creating prize pools for everybody, and creating the environment that it's meant to be. And the other 50% goes straight to the drip vault. Okay. And that's the first way. So that gets you in the game.
Wait, before that, so how do they get a drip fighter? So right now, the mints are live on the site. How do they get a drip fighter? What's the steps for that?
The drip fighters are going to be on launch day. Okay. Launch day is drip fighter day. So we're going to be launching with our BitFighters and our drip fighters on launch day, which is going to be around the end of June. Okay. Before then.
So right now it's just the BitFighter pre-mint NFT cards.
Yes. Okay. Right now is the exclusive 100 very first ever pre-sale mint cards for the Gen 0 BitFighters.
Okay. And then the BitFighter will be on launch day, which is tentatively the end of June.
Yes. That's right. Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, next.
So we're launching with the BitFighters and the drip fighters.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. And then the next piece. Yep.
Yeah, so the next piece is the brew system. And that's the other partner piece where any partner plugs into our brew system where they become a flavor on the brew machine. So you're going to this vending machine. If you guys haven't seen the videos, check them out. And you choose your flavor. And the brews are 10 bits, which comes out to be like, Bitcoin's at 27,000, so 27 cents. So right now it's around a quarter. We kind of want to keep it around a quarter because that's kind of the idea. If you put a quarter in the machine to play the game, we don't want to go too much more than that. And it generates funds for the partner. 50% goes to the partner for all the brew fees. The other 50% goes to the prize pool. So 100% of the brew fees goes to the players, one way or another. Prize pools or the community that they're coming from. So we feature you on the brew machine as a flavor that players can select. So the players that you bring from your community to this game,
right?
Hopefully they're going to pick your flavor. And
Exactly.
They're going to need to pick some flavor, right?
Right.
So they're going to have to pick one of them and support one of the communities there.
Nice. So that's pretty simple, like cut and dry. So you come in, you use Bitcoin to buy the BitFighter on launch day because you're on the AVAX blockchain, and then Avalanche blockchain, sorry. And then half of those funds are going to go get converted from BTC on the Avalanche blockchain, and then bridge back to Binance and swap for BNB, and then buy drip on the native DEX and send it to the tax vault. Is that right?
You got it, man. That's the exact path.
Perfect. That's really easy. And that'll all be transparent on the blockchain. I guess a smart contract, you guys got all that. It'll be trustless, decentralized, right?
Yeah. So just to finish that up, I was just talking to Vader about it today. You're saying, how fun it's going to be to show those receipts. Like, hey guys, 24 hours, you guys burn this much drip.
Right.
Here you go. And tweet that out.
Awesome.
So onto the contracts. So we're currently talking. We're finding our auditors. We're going to sign up for the KYC and the auditing. As you guys can see, I'm on camera. So I'm pretty much doxxed at this point. I mean, I'm a professional game designer, and my boss totally knows I'm working on this project.
Right.
Yabunks knows where my mom lives. So
I got you.
You guys got me.
So the trust aspect is, you mentioned this to me, but I want you to kind of explain it to the viewers. So you said the contracts are, one, you're looking to get them audited, but two, they're super simple, basic, like GitHub contracts. So someone could just kind of look at that at GitHub or whatever. How's that work?
Yeah. So exactly. If you go, I won't guarantee this, but if you go to our Git book and you check out the economics kind of flow, and you go check our contracts once we launch them, they'll match. You'll see like these funds are going here, 20% are going here, 50% are going to the system, the treasury. You'll be able to match it up. I'm not saying that you're gonna be able to follow the code well enough to do that, but maybe someone can help you look that over.
So it will be public, verifiable code that you can actually check yourself and like run into, say, example, ChatGPT. You could like copy paste that and get audited that way. Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna get the code audit everything before launch. I don't see any reason why we're not gonna have KYC audits for the two of us. And
okay,
there you go, guys.
Cool. That answers the bulk of my initial questions. So let's go into some of these other ones that I had. So now we know. So right now, launching on day one, just tell us a little bit about that MVP before I do some spoilers for additional stuff. So give that in a nutshell. You kind of covered it, but we now know how the BitFighter NFT comes in, and we know what the community, where the money goes for drip. What will the players on day one be able to do with those mint fighters when it launches? Those BitFighters.
So on day one, when we launch the game, we're gonna have of course the pre-launch event. When we go live and open it up, the players will be able to access the headquarter building, the interior of that.
Okay.
And right now it's sized for about 500 people. And so what we intend on doing is having world servers. So whatever, you'll be able to see US East, US West, if you're in Europe, Asia, whatever. We'll get a couple servers spun up for you guys, and to make sure that we can accommodate. We're going to limit the amount of BitFighters that we mint at first,
right?
Just to kind of keep it on the throttle. We don't want to put too many out there at once, just because we respect the value a BitFighter brings, and we don't want to create too many at once. But there's no reason why at launch, whatever we launch with, if there's more demand, we can spin up some more servers. But there is definitely something to a world server, and we can talk about that when we get to the documentation. World servers are quite special. So we want to make sure that they're as limited as possible and that they're strategically placed around the world so that everyone has a good connection.
Okay.
So on launch day, you should expect to see probably a couple servers that you can pick.
Okay.
And you're going to log into it, and you're going to be in headquarters. And so you guys have seen some of the screen video, and you see the machine will have that. Another super special feature is the gang system, the referral system. We'll just do this. I'm really excited about this. So
yeah,
it's definitely inspired by Drip's buddy system, using your friend's wallet with your referral link, and anyone who joins under you once you've created your gang is part of your gang now. And so all the players you have under you, your gang members, when they go out and participate in any kind of prizes or services, their fee, whatever you set it to, which is, we have it right now, 0 and 3%. You set your gang fee.
Nice.
All your gang members, as they're out, when you're sleeping in bed at night, Warren Buffett, make money at sleep or work till you die. Well, your gang members are out there hustling in BitFighter City, man. They're out there doing work, running their businesses and fighting and whatever. And every time they do anything, 1%, 1%, 2%, 2%, whatever you got it set to, is trickling back to you. So think of dudes with armies. Think of like Ray and Stunna with the 15K subs all in their armies.
Right.
These guys, I don't know. That'd be too many people in the server. I don't know what we do about that.
Yeah. No, quick question with that, because everybody's going to ask, because that's an issue with the buddy system. Can you change your game?
Yes, of course. Absolutely. Like this.
Well, because some gangs, like I grew up in the 90s, man, and in some gangs, it's blood in, blood out. You don't get out once you're in.
You can totally get out. Check this out. This is going to be interesting. So, so the gang itself is NFT, right? So by holding this NFT, anyone who registered underneath of it, you're reaping all those rewards.
Oh, okay.
So you could sell that gang to somebody else.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to sell,
and then build another one.
My gang right now, my gang's making $200 a day. I'll sell it for $5,000.
Wow, that's crazy. That's gonna introduce some interesting politics, because a gang is something that's meant to be communal, real tight knit. But it's like you could have a gang leader literally just be like, sell everybody out in this gang. It's like, thanks guys for joining. Deuces, I'm out. I'm gonna sell you to this other guy.
yes. And they might be okay with that and not care, maybe not even notice.
Right.
Some of them might leave.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty cool. I like that.
And all of a sudden that gang NFT isn't worth what it used to be.
Exactly. That's awesome. Now that's not going to be on day one though.
Yes. Gangs are day one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so when you join on day one, you definitely want to send your referral link out to all your buddies and start building your gang.
Wow. But the only rewards that your gang members will be able to do will be from the fights and the betting on fights, right?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the two game mechanics we launched with. You got it.
Explain that a little bit, because we haven't gone into that. So right now, I know from the videos I watched, you can fight, so you have your attributes and all that stuff. But there's also a betting mechanic. How does that betting work? Other people can watch and bet, and then you can also bet yourself, right?
That's right. So what you're going to see on the right side of the screen is going to be a queue of all the different fights that are your lineup, basically, who's on deck and so. And just by clicking on a fighter, you can wager on them.
Okay.
You can place whatever bet you'd like to place on a fighter, and it's just going to wait for someone to take that bet to their side. And as soon as you have someone that takes your bet, it gets committed to the pool, and then whatever happens.
Okay.
So it's pretty straightforward.
And is there, on those bets, it's a percentage of that is going to the house and the treasury and all that, or is that all to players? How does that work?
Yeah, so if you go to the economy screen on the Gitbook,
okay,
so we'll head over there. There it is on the screen. EPS.
Yeah. Let me pull it up on my side.
Check out the economy screen, and it'll show you the fee structure. This will be a really good visual for the viewers. And this will show for any kind of activity the players are onto.
Okay.
Guys, check out the economics tab, and you'll see the big display. Forex, he shared one of these the first week that he was talking about it. He blasted one out there, and so it might look familiar to you guys, but check it out. And it shows you kind of the fee structure, how like a building owner,
right?
If they're so for example, you could put like a machine in someone's building. Like I'm gonna say claw machine because I can't think of a better example right now, but whatever it is, whatever kind of a broom machine, we'll go with that.
Okay.
So you got a broom machine, you own this, and your buddy's got a club. You go stake your brew machine in his club, and now whatever you're earning on that building owner would get his fee on that. So there's the building owner, there's the gang owner, the gang leader, and you'll see how it kind of it's every player that if everyone's taxes are maxed, right, everyone's turned up. The building has the highest tax, the gang leader has the highest tax. The worst damage that you're going to get is, I think, 15%. I think it's 80. You get 85% of whatever it was. I think.
Okay. But these are all also adjustable. So you the owners of these NFTs, these buildings, the brew machine, the gang, they set a range for their
exactly. And so that's the idea. You know, is if your gang, you know, you're taking 3% from me, but this guy over here is really cool and he only wants 1%, and he does airdrops. And my friend thinks he's cool. See ya, I'm leaving your gang and I'm gonna go join this dude's gang. And all of a sudden his gang grows. And then maybe down the road he's like, guys, listen, I'm gonna do a vote. I'm gonna change my gang fee to 2%, but I'm gonna double my drops on the Friday show.
Right.
Everyone's like, let's do it. You know, who knows? All kinds of crazy stuff's gonna happen.
That's awesome. So share a couple of those key features and areas like within the economy side, like for the mini games and the cities or any of that stuff that you plan to have by the end of the year. Because since this will be June, that's literally 6 months. So what does that 6 month roadmap look like?
Yeah, so the roadmap is definitely dynamic. And but what we're doing is, I'll sum it up like this. So any kind of delivery team, as you're working, you know, you want to make sure that you're working at a consistent pace. You don't want to be like, you know, up all night one week and the next week you're slacking off, and then you gotta get back to your work, because you know, any coder knows that taking a break from the code and going back to it, you know, it's like getting
you forget.
You know, I got no memory of this place. What's going on? And you're wasting time trying to relearn what you did, and so that seems to be kind of a common feel, I think, from many developers. So it's important that a delivery team is just consistent. And that's true with anything in life, right? I mean, you can think of all kinds of habits that we have in life that you want to be consistent with and stick with.
Right.
And so creating something is no different, especially a game. So the pace that we're currently working at, we believe that we will hit these current milestones. So if you go to our roadmap, we update it probably like once a month. We'll go through there and move something around or whatever, you know. We don't make a big deal about it because no one really sees us right now. So, you know, once we have some stakeholders in a community, then yeah, we'll keep you guys updated and let you know if something changed or we got any kind of special surprises or early releases or something. What's cool is that we have some features right now ready to go that we're not going to launch with. That way we have stuff to kind of get us to the next like bigger feature release. So we're excited about that. And yeah, so just talking about some of these features. What's cool is that we've spent this last almost year now building a really strong foundation to where now we have a system that's going to lend itself to just kind of unfolding as we work on each kind of these features that we're releasing. So HQ, it's the doors will open once the city is ready. And so right now everyone's going to be in an enclosed interior of the HQ building. Then a day will come, those doors will open, and now the players can go into the city. And the first building that we'll be launching will be it's going to be the club. It's in the roadmap. I'm not holding anything back.
Nice.
The club is it's the copy of the HQ that you can own. Now you can own your own little HQ, your own club.
Okay.
And it's going to be created similar to the BitFighters. And so I don't think I've shared anything like this, or talked about it. But if you can imagine, the BitFighters they're sprite sheets. There's 60 different frames of characters for all the different in-game animations. And it's just I don't know how many layers there are. At least a dozen layers or more, sandwiched on each other. And you know how NFTs are created, right? It's just a bunch of PNG transparent layers that people are slapping on stuff. And so the sprite sheet is the exact same thing. And we're going to do that with our buildings. So our clubs, you know, you'll go mint a club, and the front of it that you see in the city will be some unique club building, you know. And we have different tiers. There's the tier 1 through 5. There's different details about those. So you'll get whatever tier you're minting, you'll get one of these buildings. And then your interior will be built the same way. You'll get a uniquely generated interior for your patrons and your community to join you in. So we'll launch with the club and a couple of features for the clubs, and so it'll be like you can buy NFTs, you can buy furniture for your dollhouse, and you can put these. The cool thing is that this furniture you can monetize it. You can, you know, put the brew machine in your place. You can put a poker table in your club, and now you're
Oh
hosting
wow.
5-player poker, right? And now you're raking whatever fees you got coming in. Like
Oh
there's so many
wow.
possibilities that you could do with these in clubs. Something I'm really excited about. I think it would be super cool to have like a DJ booth. Someone can get on like a microphone and stream, like everyone could hear them. Yeah, that's one person on the microphone. You can stream
Right.
like a YouTube video or some music or something to everybody.
Well, there's quite a few artists in the drip community that do music, so you definitely would have their interest with this for sure.
How fun would that be to have, like, you know, whatever you got going on, your channel, your music that you got, and to have your own in-game club.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
So there's a few mechanics in the game where you can create your own asset. You can paint your own, you know, it's pixels, right? So you mint a club or whatever, you know, you can draw. The earliest example is the gang sign. When you create a gang, we want you to be able to draw like a 32 by 32 pixel. You'll probably just be able to upload for now, but eventually you'll have like a little pixel thing or whatever, you know? You can draw whatever your thing is. And so your banners, you can upload pictures or draw on it or whatever is the idea.
Wow.
So everyone is uniquely minted, and you can customize it by whatever artwork or something you want to bring into your interior.
Wow. Yeah, it seems like you guys got quite a lot of stuff already built, already lined up on the roadmap, and then of course the vision for where this is going in the future. Yeah, this is huge for blockchain gaming and Web3. So I think you call this like Web 2.5. So explain a little bit about that. So I know like the bulk of this stuff is not going on the blockchain itself, but the transactions and stuff will be. So break that down a little bit for the audience.
Yeah, we started with a feature back in the open alpha where we were calling it Web 2.5, where if people didn't have a Web3 wallet, they could still click and get in the game. And it was just a way to, of course, we need people to play. So we didn't want to prohibit people just because they weren't interested in getting a MetaMask, or, you know, they weren't, that was going to be a hurdle for them. And it was quite easy. And so we're going to be bringing that back just because we want people, and they're going to be very limited as to what they can do. So there'll be spectators and chatters. We might enable them to access the ATM and get funds and play games, but they won't be able to like create and save their own BitFighter. They can't put their name. They can't name it. They can't join gangs or participate in those kind of things. So they'll have limited features. We don't, of course, want to prohibit them from visiting. So we're calling them guests.
Okay.
And they can just visit, you know, by clicking a button and be instantly in the game. So if someone sees BitFighters and they want to check it out, but they don't want to go through minting or acquiring a BitFighter, you just click a button. It's just a one click. Okay. Boom, you're in, and you get to see what's happening and wherever we send you, the HQ that you end up in.
And I think that's a great onboarding tool because there are people that are not Web3 savvy. So having a way for them to spectate, if you will, and see what's going on with this new industry makes it more enticing for them to actually take the steps and hurdles to get into Web3. So I think that's a really good feature to have.
Of course, the idea is that you know, once you get a Web2 player in there, they see what's going on, they want to be part of it, and they don't mind spending the 10 minutes it takes or whatever to set up a MetaMask or their wallet and connect and get it going.
Right. So yeah, I think we covered most of the questions I had. I don't want to keep this relatively short. So right now, what is what do you want from the viewers? What's the best way for them to support BitFighters? What will be like your call to action for them?
And of course, the second one is just get in the Discord and get on the Twitter and stay tuned for updates. And there's 40 some pre-sale mint cards left.
Wow!
And they are the first 100 ever.
Right.
So hopefully they turn out to be something special, you know, down the road.
Yeah, and these after these 40 sell out, it's automatically 0.002 BTC, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So you're getting a 50% discount guaranteed.
There's a 50%. There's a couple advantages. First, there's a 50% discount, so you get yours half off, and two, you get in the game early. So we're going to open the game up like a sneak peek. Also, you guys, when you're in the Discord, you can scan your wallet in our Discord, and if it sees you have one of these pre-sale mint cards, you'll get access to the early adopter channel. And so that's where we're going to kind of be organizing our event in the lab.
Okay.
Lab server.
So
that'll be our staging server.
Yeah, this is going to be a pre-authorization before the live launch at the end of June, right?
Yes, yeah. So before we go live, end of June.
Okay.
Sometime in June, obviously, because it's not going to happen this month. It's going to happen in June. we're going to announce the date for the early access for the pre-sale card holders.
Oh, nice.
And they will be able to get their BitFighter and get in the game and have at it.
I'll be there. You guys know I will be there.
We're considering having a tournament for those 100 people.
Okay.
And making it a cool event to kind of celebrate the launch. And then launch, we open it up and we see where BitFighters goes. What's really cool though is that, like I said, we're a $0 funded dev team over here. As soon as we get our hands on some funds, like as soon as that system wallet starts to get filled up, we're immediately going to getting artists and developers on our team to do like these. Like you asked me about the roadmap and the features. The idea is not for us to kill ourselves making this game. The idea is to build ourselves a solid core team that we can pump out features consistently, and really realize the vision of this game. Because I mean, there's no reason to be waiting around. If there's a community that's interested and wants to support this, and they're and the game's fun ultimately, because you need one of those. You need a fun game.
Exactly.
A fun game needs players, so you need each other. And if we get that and the wheels start turning, and we can generate some system funds, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
we're super excited to see what we do. Just doing some of these features.
Yeah, I like it, and I definitely see the integration for the drip community. I know right now, as we mentioned, it's just these 2 features that go back to supporting drip, but there are probably other ways in the mechanics that you guys already have where you could turn these things on for features for the players, or I guess the gang members themselves. So for example, I guess myself, I could say that anyone that joins my gang, I'm going to start taking a percentage of those proceeds to buy and burn drip. I could say anybody training at my club, I can go and take those proceeds to buy and burn drip, and of course show those receipts, right? So it incentivizes content creators like myself or other people in the community to play this game or participate, because it's just another way to bring in revenue to the drip community to support the token. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly why we built this thing. That's why I couldn't look away from it, because I understood that it's just, we're neutral. We're not, we don't have our own token that we want you to buy.
Right. Well, you have Bitcoin. you took favorites. You picked Bitcoin.
So until something flips Bitcoin, whenever that happens, then we'll go back to the table and talk about if we want to switch our currency.
Right. Pepe is going
to. Pepe fighters. How cool would that be? Let's do some special edition Pepe fighter.
Yeah, there you go. That's a strong community for sure.
DMs are open, bro.
Yeah. Man, that's awesome. Yeah. We can wrap it there. This is well, actually, no, one other thing, because I forgot to bring this up, because it ties right into with this, the pre-sale mints and then the mints coming after that. So talk a little bit about the 1K club, because that is huge for getting into this early, basically, because you mentioned that early as well. That's about getting in early.
Because what I was saying about the raising the funds and getting this thing, the flywheel moving, that's where the 1K club comes in.
Right.
And so that is going to be a 1,000 NFTs that we do that give you partial ownership of the treasury yield, basically, and much more. They give you partial ownership of the system, really. And so what we're going to do is, right off the bat, is that holders of this card will have access to our lab server. So every time we do have new features ready to go, they can go try them out, give us feedback, help us kind of debug, troubleshoot, give us help us tune it up before we release it live.
Right.
And so they'll get that feature. And about the treasury yield. So what we want to do is, once we build a considerable treasury, we want to find some partners that we can stake that with.
Okay.
And that yield, 20% of that yield goes back to this 1K club.
Okay.
So however many of these you have, right? So you don't need to hold just one. You can hold as many as you want. That just gives you a percentage ownership of however many have been minted.
Right.
20%. So, if one person buys them all, they're getting the full 20% of the treasury yield.
Right. But there's only gonna be 1,000 of them.
There's only 1,000 of them. They start at $100, and the price stair steps 0.555% each mint. So it kind of the water slowly warms up as they get minted. So the floor kind of just rises naturally with them.
Okay.
The idea is to give our they're really investor cards, where if you believe in what we're doing here, you could help us build this thing and then reap the rewards of owning it.
Nice. And when does that go live? When will those be available?
I don't see any reason why they're not going to be before launch. Before launch, we'll do it.
Okay, cool. Wow.
We right now we're just finalizing the art on that. So once the art's kind of dialed in, and the contract's ready to go, so it'll be in the audit. 1K club contract will be in the audit. And yeah, we just got to get the art right. So as I played Stardew Valley and you played the mining game there, it's going to be very similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be my kind of take on it. And it'll be, so there'll be some things that are different. But essentially how it's going to work is you're going to be able to mint a mine. And like I said, there's 5 tiers of buildings. Check out the Git book to understand the 5 tiers. Essentially, it's just like you want the Toyota or you want the Bugatti, you know, and it's whatever you want in between. So you can pick a tier mine. And when you mint it with value that's going to go into that mine. So say you minted $100 mine, right? Well, 100 or whatever it is, I don't know, whatever. Let's start with $1,000. You minted $1,000 mine, whatever tier that might be, a tier 2 or 3 or something.
Okay.
And you stake that onto a city plot. That value is locked into that mine now. And whatever you configured it as of how many blocks or how many rocks you want in your mine and how much percentage for like different prizes you want to do. Like you want to do resources or you want to do USD, you want to do Bitcoin. You can kind of configure your mine how you want to distribute your treasure, your value.
Right.
And then now it's a game. And now what you're doing is you're selling time to players. So coach comes to my mine and he's like, all right, we got a fresh mine here. No one's tapped it yet because you can see the statistics on the board.
Right.
And you're like, okay, 1 minute is going to cost me $50. So I have 1 minute to go ROI in this mine. And so you agree, you made the transaction, you signed up for it. Here you go, your 60 seconds begins. You need to go in this mine and hopefully hit the right rocks.
right.
Hit the right ones and hopefully ROI and come out with a mine, you know, not experiencing a loss. Maybe you get a loss and you want to try again.
Yeah.
Who knows? But what's cool, what I'm loving about this system is that over time, that mine's going to lose value. It's going to be mined.
Right.
We're going to take value out of it.
Right.
And the value of this mine is going to drop. What we're going to see happen, I believe, is that the owner of this mine is going to sell it. He's not interested in this because it's not making the money it used to. And degens like me are going to buy it for pennies on the dollar. And now I can run I couldn't afford a brand new mine, but hey, I can afford this one. It's only got $50 in it now, but I can afford it. I can start my business now. Come on, guys. Come to my $50 mine, and maybe you can ROI your 50 cents.
Right.
People are going to love it because at the end of the day, it's still a game.
Yeah.
Maybe you can ROI, and maybe you can build a bankroll. Maybe there's some dude out there who's got a couple bucks and he's building a bankroll because he wants to enter this big fight tournament and all he needs is $100.
Right.
And he's out in these degen mines trying to ROI a couple times to double up.
Just to build it up.
To get the big ticket. And then maybe he wins the grand prize and now he's a thousandaire.
Right.
You know, we can change lives out here. Speaking of which, Axie Infinity, man. I love it. They were feeding families out there in Axie Infinity. Full-time jobs. Right. And with love potions, bro.
Right.
They were farming love potions. It's like, what? And that game was terrible. I got into it. I went through all the hassle with Ethereum crap and like messing with all that stuff. And just to try this game, and it was terrible. And I was like, man, BitFighters is gonna feed so many families, dude. People are gonna make a living out here with this economy because that's all. It's just a closed loop economy essentially of players transmitting value back and forth.
Right.
Services.
I like it, man. Man, that's a lot to take in. So I definitely recommend you guys, like I said, watch the videos, go to the channel, go through the GitHub, the Git book, and follow them on Twitter. Jump into Discord, ask questions. Like Zach is always in there, man. Like you can talk directly to him, and he gives you. He's open to feedback. He's asking you guys. Like that's to me what the community part of crypto is all about. Is being able to tap into people that are looking to support others and build things out in tangent with the community in mind. And as you've heard from Zach articulate multiple times, he's looking to build something that he wants to play. So he's a passionate game developer, game designer, been into Bitcoin, so understands long-term value. And I think this is a combination of all those things coming together. And he also mentioned he's a farmer, so he knows all about hard work and the value of your own kind of sweat equity into something. And that's what a true, really good play to earn game should be. Like, it shouldn't just be something that you can kind of monetize and play to win, basically. Should have some value you enjoy playing. I can go back to all the old RPGs I used to just grind on just to get levels up and stuff like that. You know, and that was fun because I wanted my character to level up. Imagine being able to do that, and now you're being rewarded for that sweat equity with Bitcoin and things of that nature, man. So I am super excited for this. I have some free BitFighter to giveaways, so you guys can follow my channel. All you need to do is jump on his Twitter, retweet, and jump in the Discord, and then I'll be looking for people in those two spaces to give some BitFighter mints, pre-mints away. So you got anything else you want to share with the community, Zach, before we part?
I just want to say, Coach, man, I appreciate you so much. I reached out to a bunch of drip YouTubers, you know, just on May 8th. I just started pinging people, kind of just letting everyone know we're about 2 months out, guys. That old drip battler game, it's happening, and here it is. So here we go. And yeah, we connected really quick, and it's been great talking to you this last week. And I want to just thank you again, man. You've done so much just to help share the word and let them know that it's coming. So I'm pumped, man.
Me too.
I can't wait to see what we do.
For sure.
And, launch day's gonna be something, man. Just the pre-sale party's gonna be cool too. So once we go live and start getting this thing going and streaming, it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all there.
Yep.
And get in the Discord, guys. Like he said, I'm there, man. I'm working all day. So
definitely.
Say what's up.
Yeah, and this is, like I said, just real quick, this is what it's all about. Collaboration over competition. So when Zach reached out to me, told me about this, first thing, had to, go to the website, see the YouTube's like, okay, this is the guy, it's legit. All right. And then when he shared his vision, I was on board from day one. And so that's why I'm pushing so hard, because I believe the drip community succeeds with stuff like this. So we need more innovators, more collaborators, more people looking to support the drip ecosystem as a whole. And this is a great way. I used to be an avid gamer. I used to love the game. Now I'm adulting. So I want to go back and game a little bit. This will be great.
Yeah, man, I totally agree with you. I think just more people, if you guys got ideas and you can build something, reach out to these dudes, these YouTubers, man. Like, Coach is super cool, man. And if you got an idea or whatever, I mean, they'll hear you, they'll listen to you. I think people want to connect like this.
Yeah.
And whatever we can do to kind of do our own thing, our own launchpad system, that's how it has to be done.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
And don't stop, man. If you got an idea and you think it's worth something, check this out though. I want to give a big shout out to Ray and Forex though about this. So they gave BitFighters major validation. So that game never saw the light of day. It was just my small community of a dozen or so people. We never pitched anybody. It never went on mainnet. Nothing ever happened to it because we just thought it was too big for us. And we wanted to just, pump something else out.
Mm-hmm.
And when Ray and Forex took a look at it, they were the first ones that we ever really pitched it to and showed it to. And they absolutely validated that for us.
Right.
And I can't say that we'd be on the same path without them if they didn't feel the same way about it. I probably would have ended up back on the shelf and we'd be doing some kind of smaller game right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yes, guys, appreciate that. It really told us that, hey, we should continue on this and keep building it. And that's exactly what we did for the last 4 months or so. We just stuck with it. And like I said, consistently, every evening you just chip at it for a couple hours and do it again the next day.
Right.
And here we are.
Yep. And now it's in you guys' hands, the community. So let's pick this up and run with it and take this thing across the finish line. It's already done, as you saw. They had live testing and everything like that. And then it's coming end of June. So you guys get out there, share this. I've given some tweets and stuff like that. Put all this content out there. Let's make this a hit success and help put this on the map for the drip community. So I appreciate you, Zach, for coming on and sharing your passion.
Thanks,
and we'll definitely do a follow-up, maybe a live AMA or something like that as we get closer towards launch. So you guys watch this video. If you have some questions, we'll bring Zach back. And you guys know the drill. Lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya. Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? Spritz Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.